Boma, over to you.
Good evening, everybody. Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Good evening.
Okay. How have you all been? Sorry, I just have to ask.
We are fine.
We've been scared.
Fine. Scared and fine, exactly.
Okay, so today's class will be in two sections, as you already said, but we'll be doing more of practicals from what we've learned from the first class till date. Okay, so I would need some persons to help me, of course. I'll be asking some questions as we proceed. Okay, so in the previous classes, we've done research and the rest of them. Research how to actually put everything when you want to start as a UI UX designer. So today we'll be talking about architecture, information architecture. So it has to do with user flows and the rest of them. So now we have to do something. Okay, they've taught you research. The practical way, how do you conduct a research? So I'm going to give you a case study. I and my colleague, the person that will take over, we prepared. So we are going to use that problem to carry out this research. Then we'll go straight into solving this particular problem, and we'll do user flow for it. Then then wireframing, and you see one or two screens. We'll be doing it together actually. So there's something I would like to show you people. It's called Miro.com. Some people call it Miro, some people call it Miro. I don't know which one is the correct one, but I normally call it Miro. So, okay, let me share my screen. Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen, man? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it. Go ahead.
Okay, so now this is my robot. You can actually use it to arrange your design before actually going full in design. Now, what's the research problem we have for today? The problem for today is, let's imagine you're a student, you're a banker, or you're a worker. Just say you work in an establishment and you find it really hard to get food from eatery. Like, getting food is your issue because your lunch break is actually short. For instance, some organizations just give 1 hour to their staff to go for lunch break. So imagine where I eat is like, should I say, 200 kilometers from my office, or I'm this kind of person that I don't eat out. I actually have a particular place I eat because of my stomach. And now I need to get food while I am at work to fuel up. So what am I going to do? Now, I have a question. How do you solve this problem as a UI UX designer? Please, I need 1 or 2 persons to tell me before we continue. Please, if you want to talk, just raise up your hand. The problem now is you find it difficult to get food from an eatery because of distance, or because of traffic, or because of time. So how do you solve this problem as a UI UX designer? 2 people, quickly, please. We have 2 sections, so I will be very fast for my section. Hello?
Sorry, you can't see your screen now.
You can't see my screen. Okay,
Yes.
let's leave the screen first. I asked a question. I can actually see my screen from here. I don't know, maybe service from your own end. I've given you a problem. Okay. I've given you a problem and we want a solution. How do we solve it as a UI UX designer from what you've been taught so far? Please, I need 2 people. 2 people, 2 people.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay, sorry. If you want to speak, raise your hand. Okay, please. Thank you. Olabode, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So the question states that there's an issue getting food due to distance. So the best thing to do that I think as a UX designer is to create a platform where workers can actually get food. They can order for food and it can be delivered to them to their various offices with through dispatch riders to cover the distance for them. Just that they might have to pay extra for the delivery.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually a solution. Next, someone else, please. I said two persons actually.
Okay, Damina, go ahead.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
How about you? Because if one person is having this problem in the office, so it's safe to assume that it's not one person's problem. There are a lot more people in that office that are experiencing that problem. How about create a platform for them where they can log in and place their collective order without having to maybe in their work? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, how about creating something for them within the office where they can collectively order food as a group? Maybe when you come to work, you can log into that the portal and then enter what you want to eat, and then, like the first person said, probably they do a bulk order of food or something that connects them to food vendors nearby where food can be delivered to them.
Okay. I've heard what the both of you said is actually correct. I'm happy that you're all thinking like a UI UX designer. So since we have a problem now, what we are looking at is building something, an app or a website. Okay, let's go with an app. So that building an app where it can be just for, let's say, it can be an app where you meet restaurants to register, so that now, instead of, because my preference can be different from yours. I might not want to eat what you want to eat. My booker person might be different. So instead of, I'll just create this platform and I'll register all these food companies or food delivery cost companies that I need. Let's say we register them. And from there, you can order from any restaurant. So we're not going to make it like one restaurant. Just like, for instance, Kilimanjaro, we all know that Kilimanjaro, they have their mobile app for ordering food. But this one now, this is a problem. Different people with their different tastes. So we build an app where all these food agents can actually register. So now we've gotten what we want to do. Now the next thing is, we are supposed to conduct an interview. We're supposed to do a research, not really an interview, a research, knowing what people want and what they don't want. So now there are different ways you can do. You can actually create a Google form and you send it out there, getting people's opinion, or you can do an interview. So because of this class, like I said, we're working together, I would need two persons. I would actually want to conduct an interview for two persons. Then we would have to analyze what we've gotten from our research. So who is the first person? Okay. Akoli, I don't really know how to pronounce Akoli, please. You can unmute your mind and let's go. Hello.
Okay, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, I want to say something about the solution that was preferred to the question.
Okay.
So I realized that one of the point of action from the question is that there's an issue of traffic, and the platform we intend on working on is going to cover just maybe registering restaurants and all. But in the end, the food vendors would have to still wade into the traffic to deliver the food. Would there be anything on the platform that will cater for that aspect of the problem? So.
Okay, so I don't know, but in River State here, there's one particular means of transportation that doesn't stay in hold up, which is bike delivery agent. So once you're ordering for food, you just know that the vendors will have to add the cost of delivery. They work with delivery agents, maybe bikers, all these bikers, and they'll deliver the food. That way you'll be able to beat traffic when you're using.
Okay, I just feel that since we are talking about Lagos of all places, there's always a lot of traffic and all.
Okay.
So, thank you.
All right. So, Edith Dion, you're raising your hand. So, yeah, you unmute your mic and say what you want to say.
Hello, yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, are you the person I'm using for the interview? The first person I'm using for the interview?
Yes.
Okay, so I just have few questions. These questions might not be exactly what you want, but these are simple questions you can ask a user and we'll go with that. Okay. I don't know. I already have some on my board. I don't know if we should start from the starting. And I'm doing this one because of the questions. I don't really want to retype the questions. So maybe once we're doing the user flow for the app, we'd have to start from afresh. Okay, so the first question I have here: what is your age range?
My age range is 25.
Okay, 25. The second question I have: do you eat out?
No.
Yes, no, or sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay, so how often do you actually visit a restaurant?
What are the options?
Okay, I might not have options. Yeah, this one is, I did it like this maybe because when I want to do it as a Google document and send to people, it can be normal interview and I don't need to put options. I just need your answer. How often do you visit a restaurant? Yeah.
Not all the time. I eat from normal eatery, not all the time.
Okay, sorry, I'm using restaurant, eatery or restaurant. Let's say we are building something for both eatery and restaurants now. So how often do you visit those places?
Sometimes.
Okay. So, do you actually like your food to be delivered to you in your house, or you like going to the restaurant? Like, okay, let me ask you this way: what if you have an option where you don't need to come to the restaurant, but they will get you your food? Will you prefer that option?
Yes, I'll prefer it.
Okay, and why?
I prefer it because I feel it's best if you don't want disturbance and you don't want to meet traffic on the road and all. It's best you stay at home.
Okay, so we can go on and on. Okay, so we can go on and on asking the question depending on what we want to achieve. But because of time, like I said, I'm working with another person, so we would have to stop here. Is there any need to take one other person, or let me just show you how I record my findings? After getting the findings, let's just record it immediately. Okay, so now this is how I analyze my findings, still using my robot. Let's say this is the first person and it says his age bracket is between 28 to 25. Now, oh, sorry, I need to start a new page. Oh, I need to log out and log in back. Okay, where's my sticker note? Okay, so this is the sticker notes. Okay, so I've gotten Emmanuel's answers to the question. He says his age range is within 25, so I'll put it there 25. I'll pick another note and I'll choose color. You can make it colorful depending on how you want. Drag it to where you want it to be. It's still like your normal Figma. Oh. Okay, so he said yes, he likes eating out. So sorry, there is no time. Let's just go back to the one I already have. Then from any question, we'll continue from there, please. I don't want to take much time because the next person would have to use Figma to do some things. Okay, so now this is, should I say this is the report I've gotten so far. The first person said his age range is between 28 to 25. Yes, it's out once in a while. You will want an app. Yes, you want an app where you do anything you want to do, and the rest of them. So after I'm done analyzing what I've gotten so far from the research, now we know that what we are building is an app, and we know the name of the app. It's a delivery app that will deliver food to us. Now we have to now work on the user flow. Okay, so this is your toolbar. This is where you get. So can you see my screen? Hello.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
So now you can now come to doing your user flow. Now, what is user flow? User flow is just, should I say, the journey. If a customer is coming to your app, the journey the customer will take from one place to another is just like the step the customer will have to undergo before getting to arrive at what the person wants. So now this is a user flow for something I did one time. Okay. Now we've gotten the app. I need two persons to tell me some things you would want to see in that app. Two persons, please. Please, yeah.
Yeah, James, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
I believe if you want to access a food ordering app, you would like to see a sign up button first.
Okay.
When you sign on. Then after signing in, that's registering, you should have a menu where you see the menu with the different kinds of food you like to order.
Okay.
Then some would also ask for you to verify your email first. I think that's possible after signing up.
Okay. Okay.
So those are the
That's
two things I would like to say first.
okay. So please, any other person?
Bamifemi, go ahead. Slick T, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. I would want to see, first of all, in no particular order anyway, the menu that is available, and then I want to see the distance from where the restaurant is and order now. Those are things that are important to me. As against any other thing.
Okay, so this is actually not for a food delivery app, actually, but we are going to be working with this. Is for a review page. So let me show you how to get these things. I know most of you might have been wondering how I got all this. Okay, so the first this thing here, you have templates. You can choose. They are already designed one and Miro board. You just have to choose, then edit. But if you don't want to go through that process, you want this your Miro board to be for everything from the first step to the UI design, then you can use it. Then this is your text tool, which you use to write. This is the sticker note. This particular one, what I used to do this one. Then this is your shape. This is where you get these things. The shape, the oval shape, the rectangle, the triangle, any shape you want to use. The next two, there is a connection line. This is what I use to connect the points together. Okay. Oh, so let's continue. Now for this app, our user flow would want a splash screen. What's a splash screen? That welcome screen you see on an app. Once you open an app, you can just see the logo. It can just be the logo and maybe loader icon rotating. That's the splash screen. Then in an app, we have what we call onboarding screen. I think in the last class, I showed us what an onboarding screen is. Those screens that would actually give you an overview of the app. Let's say, what should we call the name of this, our imaginary app? Let's say food zone. Let me use the word food zone. Okay, what is food zone? You can see something like fast delivery. You're solving the problem, so you can just use the points as your onboarding screen, make it very colorful. Then the next screens, we have the authentication screens where you have your sign in, your sign up, you have sign in, sign up, your forgot password, all those authentication where you can put your number. But as a good UI UX designer, I don't actually feel it's okay for any app that you have to pay for something. I feel it's actually right to send a verification code so that not everybody can pick up your phone and make an order with your card, because obviously you have to put in your card there. So it's very good. It's very okay that I can include the what's it called, verification, but not all apps require verification. Let's say, for instance, a book reading app, I don't need to ask a user to verify the phone number and the rest of them. So the authentication screen, as I said, carries the sign in, the sign up, verification, and the rest of them. I think the next thing we might need for this our app is, after those screen, is the home page. You get the home page. Then from the home page, where is it leading you to? From the home page, it's supposed to lead you to where, once you've seen the restaurants that are there, the next thing you should be able to see is how you can order from a restaurant. Okay. So after the ordering screen, what's the next thing you should see is your payment screen, your payments board, and the rest of them. Okay. So you can go on and on putting the various features you want for your app. After you've done your research, you can now start listing in your features so that you know the ones you're designing. So that's for the user flow. Okay. So the next, okay, they taught you sketching. Yeah, the previous classes, they talked about sketching. So with Miro board, I can just include my sketches here. What I've already done that I want to design, I can just include it here in my Miro board, just to know, so that when I'm doing my wireframing, it will not be very, I don't need to be looking at my paper up and down. So you can impute your, what's it called, your this. Then one very good thing is you can also export this board. Once you're done, you can export it and send it to Figma. So this is where you upload any picture you have in your phone or any diagram. So what I did for this is I drew it on paper, snapped it, and I uploaded it on the Miro board. Okay, I think, let me check the time. All right, so we have some minutes. Let's talk before we go into wireframing, before we go into Figma mainly. Any questions so far? Hello?
I'm good.
You're good. Any other person, any question, please just let's talk. This is
okay. Hope, go ahead.
Okay, please, what's the difference between this sketch that you just made and the wireframe?
the sketch and the wireframe. It's the difference is I use paper and pen to sketch. Sketch is like the rough work. That's just the rough work. Then the wireframing is when you start using your box and everything to make it more organized. Now the difference is you cannot show your clients your sketch work on paper, but you can actually show this client the wireframe. It can actually be the same thing you sketched on paper, but most times, based on, they say we are creative people. I might sketch something, and while I'm doing the wireframe, I get a different idea. So I'll just have to do it there. Okay. So have I answered your question? Please, is there any other mentor that we want to answer?
Yeah, I
any
have
other
a
mentor?
question.
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay, ask. Please go on.
I wanted to find out. I actually joined this class late, and actually I'm switching to UI UX from another track. And I wanted to ask a question concerning this Miro. Is it a web-based, or is it installed on the system? And also, is it a free or a paid plan?
Okay, it's web-based and it's free. Although I think they have
Okay.
paid version, but I'm using the free version now.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so Slazenga, please next time make sure you raise your hand before you speak. Okay, Hope, have your question be answered?
Yes, it has.
Okay, so please take down your hand and mute your mic. Okay, Wake, go ahead with your question. Hello. Okay, Tim.
Hi,
Okay.
hi. Okay.
Okay.
I wanted to find out if what's the similarity between this Miro? It kind of seems easy for me to use compared with Figma. Are they the same? Do they have the same function?
No, Figma is for designing and prototyping. You can't actually prototype here. You can't. You can't. So the thing is, once you're done, this is just like the step. This is where you can carry out all your UX work. Then you do the UI on Figma. You do the main UI on Figma. Some persons actually use Figma to do this. Actually, there's some persons that can do it, but I prefer using Miro. They have another one called, is it Messica? But I've never used that one before, so I don't know how it is. But Miro board for me is easier if you want to start putting all your research work in one place, one platform. Just use Miro. Okay. So have I answered the question? Please, any mentor on ground that would want to answer more questions?
Okay, Tim, go ahead with your question.
Okay, I want to ask about those shapes. I learned that those shapes, they have their meanings, like the oval shape, the square shape. It should be used at some, there's a particular time those shapes should be used. So can you tell me light on that?
Hello?
Hello,
Okay, so it's the shapes and their meaning. Me, I don't
yeah.
actually know. I just put any shape that is in my head. I'll make it fine. I don't know. Is there any mentor
Can I say something?
Yeah, please go on.
Okay,
Yeah,
so Tim, it depends on what you're actually designing. Let's say you want to design a profile card. So the best thing you're going to use is an oval shape, like you said, or a circle, and that's where you're going to place your image. So it actually depends on whatever you're designing. You could use a square, you could use a rectangle. So it depends on what you're designing.
Okay. Thank you. Any other question?
Hello? Yeah, I have something to say.
Okay, please.
So yeah, about these shapes, I think basically you're supposed to use a different shape for every entry point. So if like the splash screen is the major entry point for this particular user flow, so you're supposed to represent it with a different shape. If this flow has a checkout, for example, you will use the same entry point kind of shape for it. So one shape for all the actions, one shape for all the processes. Do you understand? So like this one I'm looking at right now, it seems that we're using circles for the entry points or the action points. Then we're using rectangles for all the normal flows. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so I think we're still entertaining questions. Opeyemi, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I want to ask a question regarding the user flow. For example, if you already created your user flow, can you still add some other things to it when you're already creating the low file? Is it possible? Because someone said that you have to use exactly what's on the user flow on the I file and the low files as well. Just need clarity on that. Thank you.
Okay, so for me, this is not the final thing. So once you're doing your wireframing or anything, you can decide to see what you missed out and include it. Sometimes you might be designing and let's say you forget something, but once you might be setting up this and you forget something, but once you're designing and you remembered something, you can easily just go back to your Miro board and include it there, then include it in your user flow. Then another way you can also change when maybe your client, after seeing the wireframe, tells you, okay, this thing is not there. You would have to go back and do it. Please, mentors, you can answer.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I think probably we'll just take one more question and then we'll move on. Edidion, go ahead.
Sorry, hello.
Yeah.
Sorry, please. In terms of the good evening, all. In
Good
terms of
evening.
the tag, like the circle, you were saying that it depends on the kind of thing you are trying to design. So please, I want you to like explain more to me. And you said it's Miro. Like there are so many other sketching apps that somebody can use. Like I know Sketch and Miro. So which other one can somebody use? In case
Winseeker.
you...
Okay.
Hello? Yeah,
Hello,
can you hear
there's
me?
one called Winseeker. Yes.
Okay.
Winseeker, yeah.
So
So you can hello?
Go ahead, he can hear you. Okay, so so this is just to drop this information. So some of the questions you guys are asking, you can also look at the chats. There are answers to some of those questions. Regarding the shapes, someone said you can use circles for actions. The screens, you can use rectangle shape for the screens, and then for decisions, you can make use of rhombus. So let's also try to check the chat, and then we'll get answers to some of these questions. Okay, so Boma, go ahead.
Okay, so exactly 6 o'clock, we would have to hand over to Favor that would take the Figma part where you do your. We have to do. I don't know if she should start now because we have to do at least 3 screens or 4 screens from what we've seen here. But then from what we've seen here, so let's try to complete our user flow because this is a different app. So we'll have to delete this. I think, yeah, we are not doing anything anonymous here. So, okay, so the onboarding, we just have the login and sign up. Then it should take us directly to the home page. From the home page to the ordering. Okay, let's change our this. Let's do say for instance. Let's see. Let's see. In signing, it should take you to the main menu. Okay, so now let's start listing the different flows you would want. I don't want to do it alone. From the main menu, the ordering, the payment, what other screens can we have in this app? Because we would have to do this app to the end, but not today actually. So you can list from the chat box if you want, from the chat box so that we can include it. Or okay, yes, send to carts. So there should be, as you can see, it's like Figma, it's giving you how to align and the rest of it. From the main menu, you can add to carts. To carts. So this, it's depending on you how you want to arrange it and the rest of them. Mind you, except you were working with a team, you might not necessarily need to show this board to your client, to your, yeah. Okay. So from add to cart, you can then order. From ordering, it should lead you to your payments, to your payment screen. Then from payment screen, you check out. Then for food delivery, you can be able to track your order. Is it necessary? Yeah, track your orders. You want to know where your order is at that point, just like Jumia or anything. You can go on and on from here. Okay, so I have just 7 more minutes. So my colleague is already ready. So at this point, let me take one more question before we hand over to her. Yes, under order, there could be schedule option to order now or order later. Yes, any of those things you want to include, it's fine. You can just start listing them over. So Favor, are you ready? Favor?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other question for me before I hand over to Favor? Hello.
Yeah.
Just one question. Just one question.
Okay, Jackson, go ahead.
Just one.
Okay. Hello. Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes,
please,
I
I wanted
can
to ask if this Miro is only for mobile designs, because actually this user flow I'm seeing right here is mobile related, or is it exclusively for mobile? Can't we do for the web?
No. User flow is for both web and this. Okay, let me say for web, you know your nav bar. You can include the first one should be the nav bar. Then you can include what you want to say in the nav bar. Home, about.
Okay.
You just list the boxes there. Yes, it's not just for mobile.
Okay.
Just list the
Okay.
boxes and do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So I think that's the last question. Favor, over to you. Thank you very much for your time today. Let me stop.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Favor on Sunday. Most of you know me as Faye. That's my display name. So today I'm going to be taking you guys on Figma Basics for beginners. But before we get started, I would like to remind us that as UI UX designers, we're problem solvers, all right? We're meant to solve problems. Otherwise, our designs are useless. So like Kumar said, we have a problem that in a state, say Lagos, for example, the students, bankers, civil workers, etc., find it very hard to get food from an eatery, probably because of the traffic, or let's say they have their offices in a location where there is no restaurant close by. So the question now is, how do you solve this problem as a UI UX designer? So there's this girl who answered, and I love her solution. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing. So my solution to this problem is I'll design a food ordering app, okay? So these people don't have to stress themselves. They don't have to worry about how to go all the way to get food or where to get it. All they have to do is open up the app, log in and place an order, put in their locations, and in a snap of a finger, they get their desired meals delivered to them. So this is where the design thinking comes in. Because of time, let's say we carried out our research like Goma did, and now we'll have to design the wireframes. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
No, we can't. No.
Still loading.
Okay.
It's loading.
So I guess we'll have to wait till it loads. Can you see it now?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, okay. So please don't laugh, but I was trying to do a few sketch on Figma and it's very, very tricky. So like Uma said, you can actually do your sketches on your notebook, but since I cannot show you that right now, I'm going to use Figma like I already did here. So let's say we're doing a wireframe for an app, and this is the sign up page, okay? So we're going to click on the pencil tool. Like I said, it's very tricky. So I'm trying to design another screen because the first one is the sign up. So let's say this is, sorry, see what I'm saying? That's very funny. So Control C and that's taken out. What I can actually do to save time is any problem. Okay, what I can actually do to save time is duplicate this page. So what I like to do is press on action and duplicate. So that's it. It said this is where you have the pictures. I'm just trying to run up because this is not what we're doing today. I'm just trying to show you guys what wireframing or doing sketches looks like. So there's the rectangle. I'll take out the few. I just want the stroke. Well, I think this is actually time consuming. So I think we just have to move to what we have today. So I'll delete this and I'll delete this too.
Okay, so apologies, guys. Your trainer is having a network issue. That'll be sorted out in the next 2 minutes.
Hello, everyone. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you on my end.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes.
I okay. I thought I heard Figures voice back then. Okay, she's not there, so maybe I'll just continue. When she comes online with swap, she'll continue. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so what she wanted to actually do was sorry, no what is she wants to do a wireframe, a login page for the app we are about to build. So I think I saw a rectangle on, yeah. So let's put in the rectangle. The rectangle can be a place where she would have to include pictures. Now there's something they use to indicate picture in in UI UX. You just get a line and you get another line. Okay. So this shows that a picture is supposed to be there. Now the next thing I saw was a line, so I can just hold my sheet and the line, there's something like, I think, name. Please, once she's back, just notify me. I cannot actually can you see my screen? Sorry.
Yes, we can see your screen. Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, so she's trying to design the login page. Now we have different styles. There's some person that prefer using the rectangle box to show name, that kind. Some persons prefer using this one. So what I saw for my screen is this. So what I'll do is I'll hold down shift and group it together. Then I duplicate it by just dragging, by holding down my alt. Okay, I'll not change this here. What this is, she was doing a login screen or a sign up. Okay, for sign up, you need mostly full name, email address, the password, Okay, I'm going to make it equal. Okay, they are now equal. Password. There's some app you see, and most persons prefer to put repeat password so that so that you'll be sure the password you're using. So I'll just duplicate this thing. I'm holding down my shift and I'm trying to, okay, it's not equal. So repeat password. Is repeat password necessary or not necessary? Someone should just, is it necessary that we include repeat password? Yeah, one person, please.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so why do you think it's necessary?
Yes,
It is. Why?
here please
Just give
get
me a reason, because I
correction.
say,
Should in case you make a mistake while typing the first one.
okay. Now, as a
Okay,
UI UX designer,
can
for
I suggest
everything, yes, yes,
can I
suggest,
suggest
please.
that my opinion would be that we scrap the repeat password option and instead replace it with the ability to visibility, to toggle visibility, so that you can see your password as you're inputting it, and then you reduce load.
Okay, yes, that also works. So I'll go to my plugin, which of the font also icon. Let's search. It's loading. Then we'll look for that toggle. Sorry. Let me try the name if it will work. No, this is not the one for toggle. Let's try I. Okay, this is it. This is all we need, right? Now, one thing about designing is you should know the kind of icons you're using. For me, I don't really like this icon because of we have field icon and we have, I think this is field, yes. There's some icons that is not fine, and this one is one of them. But because of, I'm just using this as an example. When you're doing yours, look for good icons to use. That's why you have different that's why you have different plugins that will tell you where to get different icons. I would send a file, I'll send some pictures to the Slack group that would show you some where you can get those things, where you can get icons, where you can get pictures that will make your work very easy for you. Okay, so I'll reduce the size of this. Just reduce the size of it, yeah. Then just so this solves repeat password, because as a UI UX designer you should have explanation to everything you do, like everything. Now this is the wireframing, this is not actually the real design. This is how you go about putting everything you want to put. Now there's another thing I don't do, like putting plenty things. Someone that is registering, you're putting plenty things for the person to log in. Now, one thing is important here that you should include, which is the location, so that okay, the app we are building actually, if you include your location, it will help to filter the restaurants that are close to you, so that it will not show you all the restaurants. For instance, I'm in Lagos and I want to order food. I did not put in location. I just log in and it's showing me all the eateries in Lagos. That would actually distract me. So with, let's say this is an app and it's a solution actually. We are trying to solve distance, traffic, and the rest of them. So you can just put in location, the person's location. The person should register with the location. So once the person opens the app, it's Google, is it map? Yeah, we try to filter and get the particular. Okay, this is not. and get the particular location and get E3s around those locations so that it will be very easy for the person. If you don't do it here, you can actually do it in the main screen where it will be like the first, once you log in, the first screen you're seeing is like a map that is taking you, that will ask you where are you currently, because sometimes I can put my location as my house and I'm in the office. So that's it for that. So we are not doing repeat screen. Let's say location. Location. Okay. Now this thing is not complete. We need a button, action point, a button that will take us to okay. Let me group this thing so that I can move it. Group Ctrl G, you know how to group. Let's move it up. Now I need a button. I go to my rectangle. Okay. For button, it's preferable I use 60 for the size, for the length. Yeah, 60. So this is okay. Bring it to the center. It's at the center now. You pick up your text tool and this is a sign up screen, so this should be sign up. And I use this to decentralize it. Okay, let's say this is our sign up screen. Now we've gotten the first one. We need to do the second one, which is I'll duplicate the screen. Now the next one we are doing should be login. So most of the things are no longer important. For login, you should just have, mind you, we've not selected our font we'll use, the main font we'll use. This is just the wireframe. Now, as we progress, we've not gotten to the main UI UX, like UI fully. So this is just like wireframe. As we progress, so for login, we'll have to remove this name and we'll move this forward. Password forward. You notice something, right? I did not group it, so my toggle did not work with it. So what I'm going to do is I'll group this. Ctrl G. So I then move it. And we'll delete this. And we'll change this to login. Login. Okay, so instead of going to your move to always, there's a shortcut for it, which is V. So you can just press V and you go back to your to there. I use shift, centralize it well, and work on it. So we've gotten two screens from our app, two wireframe screens from our app. So any questions so far? I've been designing and nobody's saying anything. Please, two persons should just say something.
Yes. I'll be following you.
It's raise up your hand, two persons. Hello? Okay. Dami, please say something. Dami.
Okay, hi, good
Hello,
evening.
Dami.
Yeah, hi. Hello? Okay, I don't know if she can hear me.
We can hear you, Dami.
Oh, thank you. So my concern actually is I have a question on this location thing on the first sign up page. Because if I'm using an app and I haven't gotten value on the app and the app is telling me, give me your location, I'll kind of be like turned off. So I'm thinking the location should be more of when I get into the app, then I have like a pop-up screen or something that tell me turn on your location. But if I have it here, I don't know. It's just I don't. That's just what I'm thinking. I don't know your thoughts though.
Okay, so I get what you're saying. That's why I was actually thinking if I should include it there or not. It's most times it's when you register. Yes, once you register and you're comfortable with the app, you can now impute your location. It's depending. That's why you have to. Every UI UX designer has different reasons. Now that's why I said for everything you include on your design, you should have a reason for it. Now, my own reason is so that it can filter the restaurants that are close to me and put it. Then I thought of another thing. What if I'm not in my house that I included as my location? And I said there's another way you can do it, which is after you've registered, in the home screen, it should not show you, okay, this is sorry, I just saw something. Somebody said people's voice made you able to forget my own name. Okay, so you cannot put it in front, like on your home screen. You cannot include it there, depending. Okay, please, Taiwo, say something. So,
Hi, good evening, everyone.
yeah, good evening.
Okay, so basically, what I'm saying is that the location you remove from the login screen, I think it should be there. Since every time you want to use the app, you want to log in, you won't be in the same place. So I think it's a bad UX. If it's a good UX rather, if it's on the login page, every time you put your password and your password and your email, you should also fill the location form, but it should be optional as well. I think it's a good UX that way. Since I might log in, I might sign up in another place, I want to log in another place again, or is it going to automatically pick a location itself? That's my question. That's the additional thing I want to add.
okay. So it will actually be a bad UX if you put it in your login. That's like stress. For every time I want to log in, I input my location. So it's actually advisable most times that once you're registering on the app. Okay, if you look at our problem initially, it said if you're working and it's your lunch time, let me use for instance, that's your lunch time, and you have to put a location where you know that you'll be there, and in the registration screen when you're registering, that's the first place you can put it, or you can actually put it on the home screen. I'm trying to open one work I did. Okay, don't worry, before then I'll show you something and I'll explain to you why I included it where I did. Okay, so just hold on, I'll answer your question later. Please, Chidima. Hello, Chidima. Your voice is down. Your voice is very down.
Sorry, can you hear me? Is it better now?
Yes, it's better.
Oh, okay. So I was saying that I was trying to follow what you were doing, like design my own on my own Figma account, but I couldn't exactly do like what you were doing. It was so difficult for me. I couldn't even do the whole Control G thing, and then sometimes my lines were not straight, and I don't know how to like align it.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I don't know if
maybe
I can't explain what it is, but it's so difficult to understand. And it's just the basic.
Okay, so maybe because
So yeah.
it's actually your first time. Okay, maybe because it's actually first time. It's just to pick up your rectangle, draw the rectangle, then you pick up your line too. Then once you click, you drag. Once you're done, if you see it's giving you some lines, red lines to show you, okay, it's okay, you can drop it here. You pick again, you pick another one and you do it. That's what I did. Once you see the red line, you can drop it. Since we are working with just line, you pick the line again and you hold down your shift and you make a straight one. As you can see, it's showing the line to show you that it's now aligned to the other rectangle. But if you don't want it to be like that, you can still leave it drop just like that. So I think when you're relaxed more, you can actually work with it. For now, I think I don't
Okay, I understand this thing you just did. Thank you so much for repeating it. So this last line we just drew, is there a way to like copy it and just paste it instead of having to draw other ones?
Yes, Control D to duplicate, then you drag it and come down. That's
Oh,
it.
okay. Thank you. Thank you
Or
so
you
much.
hold
Thank
down
you.
or you click on it, hold down your Alt, and you still drag it down any way that you feel comfortable with.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
so James, please. Hello, James Chigozie.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to unmute it. Oh, thanks so far. Before now, I used to get confused when I see designs like this. I used to wonder, now, okay, we're working on the sign up page. Is it that each, the user flow, following the user flow, each step, each stage you want to design, you have to design a separate section for it, just as we have on the screen right now? Because that's actually where I have confusion with all this one. Then another thing I want to mention, after the login, there should be a forgot password also. For people that forget their password, there should be another one after it, I think.
Yes, for every screen you put there, you should actually design it. Okay, I'm sorry guys, my time is up. Favor is back, so should just continue.
Hey guys, I'm so sorry, my network got messed. So I'll take up from here. I'll be sharing my screen. Can you guys hear me?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can see it.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Okay.
Yes, your screen.
So like I said, I'll be designing a food ordering app. Well, let me not say we will be designing a food ordering app. So to start with, I'll decide what screen size I'll be designing with. And I like to use iPhone X. So I'll come here, frame, and then I'll choose here. So this is my first screen. And I'm going to rename it. I'll call this my splash screen. Okay, that's my splash screen. And then since we're designing a food ordering app, I like to go with this color. I have a particular color code that I want to use, which is 773A. Okay, 3A. Yes, I'll be using that color. Using that color, so can you guys still see my screen?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
So I want to place an image here. So put this, and then I'll decide what what size I want that to be. So make this 334 and make this 222. Okay, and then I'll align it. So that's where I'll put the image of whatever food. You could put soya, whatever food picture you have in mind. So after that, I'll select my text tool and then click here. I'll use Barlow as my font type, and then I want it to be 36, and I want it to be bold, my text, I mean. So, okay, so I would like us to suggest names. What names you want our food ordering app to be? Like, you have any? You can put it in on the chat. Any name you could suggest, 1 or 2 persons. Someone said Oga Food. Food Hub is nice. Coded food, that's funny. Vintage recipes, belly food. Wow. So I would actually go with I'll go with mobile meals. I think that sounds nice. Okay. I'll align that.
So let's go with coded.
Let's go with coded what?
Code food.
Code food. Oh, that's
Code
nice.
food or coded food.
Okay, let's go with coded food then. Okay. And then, so Figma has this UI kit. I don't know if you guys that use Figma know about it. So I do not have to reinvent anything because I can find my buttons, icons, whatever I need for my design. So I'll be taking my button from there. Yes, so we have this for the iPhone. I'm going to select this. Select this too. And then I would copy it. Click here and paste. So we do not need this background. So I'll be taking this out. And then the left side, because of the color code we decided to use, I'll change this to white. And then I'll reduce the opacity to 80. Okay, I'll do the same thing for the right side. Reduce it to 82. Are you guys following?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so I would also get my button. I'll copy this and paste it. Sorry about that. Sorry, I made a mistake. So I'm copying this and I'm going to paste it here. So, okay. Drag this down. So here I'm going to detach the colors. Here, I'll change this to, let's say, white. And then I'll reduce it to 80, like we did to the icons. Then make this black or gray. Yes. So click on this, come here. You have the text. So we're going to edit that. I'd write get a meal. Okay. So just so you guys know, I'll not be designing a sign up screen because Boma already did that and because of time. So this is the splash screen, okay? And thank God this one already duplicated. So we'll take this out. Take this out too, and then we're going to rename this. We'll call this our home screen. Okay, and then we'll change this because the background is going to change. We're going to change this to black. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so sorry. The left side will be black. I will do same to the right side, change it to black. We're going to change this color. I have a color code, so I'm just going to type it in E1D5, D5. Okay, yes, so that's the color we'll be using. And we're going to go back to mobile UI kits. Or instead, I get my icons from Fonts Awesome. They have really nice icons there. So I'll be taking my icons from there for this design. It's going to take a while, so okay. So I'll go with this. Okay. So for this to work, you actually have to click on this, bring it down to the home screen. To here. I hope we all know what that stands for as designers. So when our users click on that, that's supposed to be like a menu. So I'll click on the text tool. And I'll write here, workplace. Okay, we don't want that to be bold. Say medium. Okay. And reduce it a bit so it fits. Let's say 34 or 32. Yes, I think that's a perfect size. Okay. I would also I'll go back to Font Awesome to get an icon, a search icon. So I'll just put here, search, and I'll go for this one. So like we did to the other icon, we're going to click on this, okay, and bring it into the screen, the home screen, to make it visible. I'll drag this here, make sure it aligns. Okay, so that's the search icon. I'll go back there. So there's a certain icon I'm looking for. Okay, yes, I found it. This one. Do the same thing. Click, bring it to the home screen. Anyone knows why I'm pressing that there, right? We don't have time, so I'm actually pressing this icon here. So when a user clicks on this icon, you could see other options. Could be market, church, because this is actually workplace. So when you click other icon, it could give you other options. Okay. So when that is done, we're going to go back to Font Awesome. And I'll search for home. I'll use this. We'll do the same thing we did to the other icons. Click, bring it into the home screen. Make sure it's aligned. Okay. So this is the home screen. I'd like us to focus on the home screen. I'll go to the shape tools. I'll get my rectangle. Okay. All right, so I like Figma because it's actually very simple. And what I want to do to this rectangle is make the edges a bit curvy. So I'll go here, click on this. This is for the top left corner, okay? So I'll turn this to, let's say 10. Sorry, 10. Can we notice a change, a curve in the top left corner?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll do same for the rest of them. We'll put 10 here. put 10, put 10. Okay. And then would have a circle inside. But something doesn't sit well. So I'm going to take out the fill from the rectangle. We'll be left with this stroke. Okay. That's the circle. This is where you place your image. I actually don't have any image right now. So, but I could do something about that. Okay. Okay, so I would come here. I have actually gotten an image, so a picture. I would come here. This is solid. There are other options. So I'll go to image, click on choose image. Okay, try not to salivate. So that's an image. And I'm going to add text. So what I'll do is just duplicate this. Make it a bit smaller. Let's say 26. That's still too big. Say 24 or even 20. Make sure it fits. So I don't know what this food is called, but I'll just say beef or seasoned beef or something. Let's just go with beef. I'll duplicate that because it will have the price. So say sorry. Let's say this is 1,000 naira. Okay. Sorry. We'll have to reduce that. 18. Okay. So when that is done, we want our users to actually, click on what they love or what they want to get. So we'll go back to get icons. Click on love. Okay, there's nothing on that. We'll go for heart. Click on this. Like we did to the other icons. Bring it into the home screen. Change the color to red. Let me press again. Sorry. It's a mistake. So hold on. This icon could be a bit tricky. So this is what I'll do. It comes with a rectangle. I'll just delete this. Yes, this is what we want. So let's say here. So the user clicks on that if he actually is interested in the beef. And then we'll also want the user to add to cart his choice of food. So let's go for plus. Okay, so yes. Okay. Sorry, first of all, you bring it into the home screen. Then I'd like to change the color. So place this here. So that will enable our user to add to cart. And we're going to duplicate this. So you hold on Shift and copy the rest of them. Okay. What I love to do is group my icons or whatever I'm doing so I do not confuse myself. So I'll just group this. Control G groups it. So let's call this beef. We'll have beef. So I think that's basically it. So if you want to put another image here, probably you have suya, you have fried rice, your option. So, but because of time, we'll get a button here. Maybe we just have to create that ourselves. Get a rectangle, click here. reduce it. That's okay. Yes, so I want the bottom right corner and the bottom left corner to have a little curve. So I'm going to change that. I'll make it 20. Yes. I'll make this 22. It's not really as curved as I want, so let's make this 30. Make this 30. Or 40 and 40. Okay, perfect. That's exactly what I want. And I want this color to be the same color as this splash screen. So this. Okay, so I'll duplicate this, make this white. So we've seen that it's not showing. If you have this kind of challenge, all you have to do is just right click and click on this, bring to front. Okay. Let's say our user actually added 2 items to his or her cart. So semi-bold, reduce that a little, let's say 28. Okay, that's okay. And I'll duplicate this. This is for the cost of the 2 items. So let's say the person ordered or got beef and some other thing. Let's say the amount is 2,000. So, and reduce that too. Okay. I'll be showing you a last screen because of time, but I'll be rushing through. So let's say, or maybe we should work with this because I really don't have much time left. So, because there's another class. So what I like to do to make sure that my work is aligned is I would go to my layout grid, okay? I have other options. I'll go to columns. I like my count to be 6. And then I want here to be 30. Okay. Because I want my work to be aligned. So we're working according to this grid now. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we want our works to be aligned. We'll do the same thing for the home screen.
Hello, please, how did you bring out the grid?
Oh, okay. This is what I did. Hold on. You have options here. Can you see auto layout?
Yes.
And you can see layout grid.
Yes, I can see it.
Yes, so you click on the plus sign, the plus icon.
Okay.
And then you click on this where you have the grid. You first with options.
Okay.
Yes, and we want the columns, not the grid. You've also seen rows. We're going for the option. Sorry, the columns.
Yes.
Yes. So you can put as many counts as you want, but for this particular one, I'll be going for 6 counts, and I want here to be 30. So yes, that's it.
Is 30 like a default value, or you
No,
just
it's not default. You could decide to use any number. It depends on how big your screen is.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we're using this to align. We're using this to align our work. Okay, so that's for that. And finally, I'll show you how to prototype. So just click on prototype. I'm sure Boma has done this before. So what you have to do is click on prototype, and we want to start with the splash screen. Okay. Sorry about that. And we have to change the background to white. Okay. So because we want our prototype to start from the splash screen, so when we click on this button, the Get Emu button, it's supposed to take us to the home screen, okay? And we want it to be on top. We want it to navigate to the home screen, okay? And it should move in. It should move in this direction, okay? So if I decide to, this is going to take a while. I clicked on that because I want to actually play out my prototype. Okay, while this is loading, do you have any questions? Please let me know. You could raise your hand. Martina, do you have any question? Okay, I guess she doesn't. Jackson, please, do you have a question?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so what
Actually, the plugins, I notice, okay, personally, if I want some icons, I do go to the web, I browse them, download them to my system, and then personally upload. So I was asking, like, how did you try to integrate the plugins directly into your Figma? And secondly, is the other question was actually going to Boma, where she had to put in the location directly on the sign up page. Normally, I thought that the location was to be put maybe when you're trying to order the food, then the location comes in, because if actually you're signing up in your office and you need to request your location, then what if you go back home and you're not at your office? So how do we solve that particular problem? So personally, I thought that maybe it's only when you get to order the food, then the location should be on the order page. If I'm wrong, I should be corrected as well. And also how you go to integrate the plugin into your the front awesome icon into your Figma dashboard.
Someone will answer your question.
Okay, so Jackson, yeah, so integrating the plugins, okay, just when you go to the top left corner, okay, you just come down to plugins. Okay, now on manage plugins, when you click on that, now there's a whole lot of plugins. These are the ones that I have installed. Okay, so you can just go to browse plugins in community. So that takes you to where you have a lot of plugins. Now it is up to you to now decide what plugin you actually need. So a lot of plugins actually comes up here. You have the Unsplash, Iconify. These have already been installed. So whichever one you install, that's up to you. So for purpose of this class, so let's just assume I want to install the content reel. Okay, you just click on it and then that gets installed. You can actually find it, back on your tab. So you just go back, you're done with the community, and then you get your plugin. So that's how you actually install plugins. Okay, so let's see if we can find that. Yeah, content reel. Yes, you have it there. So that answers your question. So Boma, I think you can actually answer his question concerning.
Okay, so I did not actually say you just put it there. Like, I was supposed to show you something before my system went up. There's actually an app I was designing. So it's still the same, but this one is for groceries. So what I did is, instead of putting the location on the sign up form, I left the location was now in the home. Okay, before the home screen, there's actually another screen where you have like a button that will tell you choose your location, or you choose the saved location. So what I did, I used a Google map and I included the map there, and I showed choosing a new location. But then if you don't want to choose a new location, there was another option for save location. So it's depending on what you, like I said, anything you put there, you should be able to defend it, explain why it is there. But sometimes you might use your imagination and put something that will be very wrong. So you should get to know what your users want. Like someone said, what if I don't trust the system? I don't trust the app. How will you be asking for my location? What if you want to kidnap? So you allow them register, allow them feel welcomed first before you now show them, okay, put your location there. Hope I've been able to answer your question.
Yeah, sure you have. Thanks a bunch.
Okay, please, Azeta, what's your question?
Okay, good evening, Favor. Thank you very much. I was gonna ask, please, how did you align the icons? I saw you aligning, but at that time my network was bad. I just wanted to confirm how you did align some of the icons on the home screen. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm going to answer that. You just have to watch my screen. I'm sure you can see where you have the layout grid.
Yes, I can.
Okay, you're going to click on this add button, this plus icon rather. So when you click on that, you'd see other options and you'd see grid here. You click on grid. Because we're not using grid, we click here to have other options. You can see columns, you can see rows. This is actually for rows, but we're using column in this context. Okay. And in this particular one, we're actually going for count 6, and we want the margin to be 30. You could use any number at all. It depends on how big your screen size is. you can decide to enlarge this, okay? And you can even decide to make it longer. So it depends on how big your screen size is. Have I answered your question?
Yeah. What I was talking about was the icons, the home button, like that hamburger sign and the search. You're trying to align it at some point, the hamburger sign of the menu button rather.
Okay.
With the search button, yeah.
This one, right? You just have to click on it, and then this is where this place is where you want to align it to follow these columns. Yes. Okay, so all you have to do, okay, let's say this icon was here. I want to align it. All you have to do is bring it here and make sure you're following the red line. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So it's aligned now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. 2 more questions. Dami, do you have a question? What's the question? Your hand has been raised.
Yes, please, I do. So the first question is, what's your reason for changing the background of the prototype to white? Is there any reason for that, please?
It's actually, it's my choice, actually. You could allow it to be black, but I actually wanted, okay, let's say this was black. Okay. Yes, so it's actually a choice. I did not want my background to be black. I wanted it to be white. So it's actually your choice. You could make it any other color, okay?
Okay. Then how about for the column and rows? When do you use column and when do you use rows? And is there any default standard, like a calculation? Like when I'm using Android screen 1, then I'll use on my column count 6, stretch 30. Or when I'm using desktop, I'll use column 10. Is there a calculation we need to know?
Of course, yes. When you're designing for a website, it's absolutely going to be different. It's not going to be the same 6 count. Like I said, you could decide to enlarge your screen, okay? And you could decide that this is tall. You can see that, right? You can decide that this is 80, let's say. It's going to make it smaller. So you can decide to bring this here. It all depends on how big your screen size is or what you're actually designing for. But if it's a website, it's definitely going to be a different count and a different number of margin.
Okay, have I answered your question? The standard question, the standard margin or the standard count?
There is no standard count, okay? There's no standard count. For this iPhone X, this particular screen size I'm using, okay? I prefer 6 count because it actually makes my work more aligned. So that's why I use 6 count and margin 30.
Okay.
Yeah. Last question. Chinima, what's the question?
Oh, hi. I wanted to ask if there are recommended plugins. There are plugins you recommend that we use over the others because there are a lot.
Yeah,
download all.
Yeah, a whole lot. Like I said, I love Font Awesome because you have a lot of icons there. You can also see lorem, whatever. Okay, this is actually for your text. We have material design icons. We have Iconify. We have Unsplash. I use Unsplash to get my free pictures. Okay, and we have Beta Font Picker. That's for your font types. So there are a lot of plugins, and I recommend these ones. The ones I just listed out now.
All right, thank you.
Hello, please, can I also ask a question?
Sorry, I think I said if you want to ask a question, you raise your hand and you will be called, please.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. Boma, do you have anything to say before you round up? Boma, are you still on the call?
Yeah, I'm here. Not, I don't really have anything to say. Okay, so to answer most of your questions you asked about plugins and the rest to them, I sent some pictures that will show you that will, most times you don't need plugins. Like, what if you don't have, okay, I'm talking for because I use Fig XD to design. So what I do is I see most of these sites, and sometimes the plugins you're installing, you might not see the icon you want. So what will you do? So you should get a handful of those sites where you can easily download this stuff and use it. Just do what works for you. Some person prefer to use the plugin. But then there's a plugin I would recommend for Figma, material design. It's advisable that you read articles on material design for Android and iOS so that you know what they want, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Buma. I would hand over to the host now.
Okay, thank you very much, Favor, for the class. To all the mentors, Buma, Chidera, thank you very much. Okay, I can see that a lot of hands are raised, but we are actually out of time. So I think you just channel your question to the UI UX channel, and then the mentors will actually reach out to you. Okay, and also the video is going to be on YouTube, so you can actually get back to it and, you know, go through the class one more time. Okay, so thank you very much for your time. Apologies for the little hiccup we had. I hope you have a wonderful night rest. Okay, so take care, and this is me saying thank you and goodbye.
Okay, bye. Thank you.